Boom! What's up, you lizards?
The Go-Getters Revolution, it's here.
The revolutionary.
Yes.
GG Court 5. We're back in business.
I'm super excited about this episode, bro. I've been looking forward to this episode for a good minute.
Yeah? Why's that?
Because, man, I feel like there's a lot we got to talk about. I think a lot has happened with the Go-Getters since our last Corporate Nightmare episode. And I really like these moments to connect between just me and you and also like with the people who watch, because bro, it's crazy how much feedback we get just being around the city. Like, yo, keep going to that podcast. Like, I watched this episode, that was fire. Like, yo, this was tough. And so really, people have been showing love for real. Yeah,
not crazy love. Like just hearing that, I don't know. It's a very surreal feeling to hear that shit around the city. It's almost like I don't know. It's like some weird imposter syndrome I always have with these podcasts. But I don't know if it was like this for you. Maybe it was because this is like the first Corporate Nightmares we ever like kind of like actually planned for to like get a couple things down. Yeah. But it was cool to like go back and like look at like objectively all the things that we've been doing recently and like kind of just to like rewrap myself around like all the things that we've been doing to like get prepared for this pod. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to do that, to like take a step back and like really look at like the things that we've been doing and like what we've been accomplishing. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like from an outside perspective, it might look like things have been slowing down.
Yeah.
But I think that we should both give ourselves a pat on the back because we've been doing a lot of shit, bro. Since our last, like, let's get into it. Like, since our last Corporate Nightmare episode, we had no clips. That was our first episode with clips.
Yeah, I believe. Actually, let me check because I know I said that, but I
think you're right. No,
I didn't know if I was talking out of my ass. But yeah, I believe we didn't have, and we, mind you, the clips were a long time coming, and they're still not anywhere as good as we want them to be. Like, going forward, we're going to make these a lot better, especially as we get, like, new cameras and new angles and all that kind of stuff.
Let us know what you think about the clips.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop a comment down below. Let us know the clips, like, if you like them, what you think we can improve on, what you would like to see with the clips. But, yeah, from the looks of it, it definitely appears that that was the first pod with clips. Then we had clips from the...
Or was it?
Kyle Reed was right before. No, they were. We had clips for Kyle. So it was clips for Corp, and then the NSFW pod we did with Jake and Brian. Right. Then we had the clips for Kyle Reed, and then just every other pod since then. So yeah, the clips have been fire. I've been enjoying making them. The clips are kind of fun because sometimes I'll really just be sitting at my computer editing them shits, and I'll start dying laughing, thinking shit's funny, and then that's typically how I pick. Like, I don't really diversify the clips as much as I should. Maybe I should try to like diversify what we like talk about in each clip a little more than I do, but I typically just try to look for the most entertaining segment, and that could be like based off a lot of different things, but typically they're either really funny or I think we really objectively hit the points that we were trying to hit. And like it's so hard to try to like, one thing I love about podcasting is how long form it is and is raw, so like it's drawn out over time. When you're trying to like compress a point down in like a minute clip, and a minute's long. Like I was just looking at the clip that we dropped last night on YouTube got 1,200 views, and the average, it was let me see, I think it was a 45-second clip, and the average view duration of it was only like 25 seconds.
How crazy is that, bro? That's what you got to figure out, bro. That's what I was just talking about today while we were facing the corporate scaries, actually. Yeah, I was watching a Mr. Beast video, and he was just talking about viewer retention, and that's really what pushes your videos to the YouTube algorithm, right? So the longer you can get somebody to watch a clip, well, the more entertaining a clip is, or and captivating it is, the longer they'll watch, the better it'll perform.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, too, because YouTube only has, like, a very small, a couple of things that they get to pick from. The best, obviously, being view duration, because they can instantly tell based off, like, say we post a clip, it's 45 seconds long. They could tell that if people are still watching by, like, the 30th second, that it must be decently interesting enough to, like, for people to make it that long, rather than just, like, you were saying he was talking about, like, likes and comments not being as important as just, like, watch time or, like, whatever view duration. That makes a lot of sense to me, though, because it really, like, almost fully encompasses what is good or drawing about a video. If it's going to retain your attention, it's obviously a pretty good video.
And I heard a bit ago that the objective of all of these social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, their objective is to keep you on their platform as long as possible. Yeah. So that would make sense talking about the retention. Yeah. Or how often you're on this app, or how long we can keep you on this app. Yeah. What do you think that's for? You think that's because of like the business?
Like why do they want to do that?
Yeah. Do you think it's because of their business? Like their logic is the longer I can keep you on this platform, the more ads that I can show you. So the more we can get paid from these companies who want to advertise with us, you know, because we can show them a metric like, you know, 1 billion people are watching our thing at a time.
I think one thing bigger than that, though, like you want to keep people consuming your product so that you're like the talk of the town. Like if you notice, like out of the big couple of like social medias, the only couple that really get talked about are like YouTube, TikTok, and like why do you think that is? Because everybody's watching them and all day. Like they wouldn't be as hype as they are if people weren't watching them all day. But I think from their perspective, it mainly does boil down to the advertiser thing because they get paid off putting ads on your videos just like you get paid off putting ads on your videos. Right. You know what I mean? They collect so much money, and that's why the whole like ad game is a very like weird and like crazy industry for YouTube.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's like, how relevant are we? How do we become more relevant than the next guy? You know, how can we continue to be a leader in this industry, in the social media industry?
It's actually funny, like long form content like the stuff that we post on YouTube, like in forms of, I mean, podcasts are blowing up now, so not very so much these days, but long form content like this typically doesn't do very well on YouTube. Like it's typically like the 7 to like 14, 15 minute range for a video that typically tends to do very well. That's why you'll see like Mr. B's videos are like 15 minutes. Full Send videos are like 15, 20 minutes. Most of the major YouTubers that post content typically do it in like the smaller to like medium form just to keep people like the retention up.
Well, you and I have been talking, and what do you think? Do you think that we'll ever branch off and get into posting different types of videos rather than just podcasts?
Yeah.
I mean, we have talks about vlog type videos all the time. You know,
we got to get into the bus at some point.
Yeah, we got to get into the bus, bro.
We've been talking about like live streaming still long form. It could honestly even be longer form than podcasting, but we've talked about live streaming forever, and we could do that in like so many different types of ways. We talked about trying to implement that into like the UFC pods.
Right. Tell us what you guys would think about that. If we were to live stream the UFC events and the sports event instead of doing podcast forms, let us know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, because one big reason to do that is like, say we record a UFC podcast on a Saturday, it's very hard to like upload it, render it, get it all cut up and post it that same night, which is ideally what you would want to do. The UFC videos also help us on a lot of weeks where we don't have like banger guests lined up.
True. So,
but like the like posting them too late can fuck up like how well they do just based off it not being relevant anymore. Like when we just most recently posted Volk and Islam, like what day is today? Tuesday. If we posted that in 2 days, like people aren't gonna give a fuck about it anymore because it's in the past.
It's crazy, bro. Like attention is the biggest commodity.
Yeah, which is odd.
And relevancy is the biggest commodity.
Yeah, I think you and I were talking about that recently because it's almost like our whole lives. Well, I wouldn't say our whole lives. Definitely, I'll speak more for myself. It's kind of been that way, but we kind of battle with the idea of like wanting attention. I think wanting too much attention could be negative for you in certain ways because some people are just attention-seeking people. Yeah. I never really looked at either of us two like that, but it's weird now that we're in the industry of literally like people watching our content and talking about our content all over, and it's literally like we have eyes on us everywhere.
Yes, I agree, but I think, man, Devin Diamond.
Yeah,
Mike the jeweler, he gave us a real gem that one day. He said, just make sure that your intentions are in the right place. Make sure that your intentions are pure. So although we're within that same realm of, you know, I guess the attention game, how can we do it in a right way? And like we've had this conversation, I think it's good to relay this to the people who listen to this podcast, but how can we do it in the right way? How can we maximize what you're giving your attention to? So you come to the Go Getters podcast and you're ultimately giving us your time and whatever. We want to be able to give the messages to those people, the same messages that you and I are working on developing right now. Like get up and fucking go to the gym and wake up early and go and travel the world and go get whatever it is that you want to do with your life and experience what you want to experience with your life.
The same way you can consume negative content, I think the same, like the other end of the spectrum, you can be consuming very positive content. I don't think just the idea of consuming content isn't just a one-size-fits-all negative thing. Yeah. Like there's a lot of amazing content out there. Yeah. That's like what we should strive to be and not like just booty shaking on Instagram and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
I think inevitably you're going to consume content regardless. Yeah. Like you can't escape it almost if you're living in the United States. I mean, you could be real ascetic and you could resist everything around you, but and if you're living a normal life and you're going through the day-to-day, you'll likely see an advertisement of some sort, or you'll likely read some type of blog or article, or you'll likely go on your phone and see all these type of things that maybe capitalism is just pushing to you.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I think we're tethered to it now, in a way. Like, I don't think there's any avoiding, like, what's going on with content and how much crazier it's going to get over the years. I mean, think of, like, even the conversation we just had with Justin the other day, like, AI. Like, at what point is, like, AI going to be creating content and, like, creating content to such a crazy par that humans can't even keep up with it? And then literally just everything is the best content that you'd ever want to see on YouTube. And AI is just creating all this crazy shit that keeps people locked in all day.
Well, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
It's dangerous because right now, I mean, you can witness that right now.
Yeah.
Where people are locked in. You look at screen times. Like, what's the average screen time? I wish we had young X here with us, but I wonder what's the average screen time of, a young adult male or female.
I wonder if,
in 2023.
I wonder if, like, Apple would, like, release that stat.
It's probably ridiculous. Like, on average, it's probably, if I had to guess, in the 5 to 6 hour range.
For adults?
For people 20 to 30 years old. I would say that it's probably within the 5 to 6 hour range. And so I think we should talk about this. Like, I think maybe you should be mindful of this, and you should be mindful of, the doom scrolling.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say much about, like, the very younger generations, but from, I'll say, like, the ones that are, like, really important in today's, like, society. So from, like, the generation of 1965 to 1980 is Gen Z. Apparently they have an average of 6 hours, which is kind of mind-blowing. Like, that's crazy to think about. Because that's, like, our parents.
Yeah.
Think about.
Well, wait, what was it? 1965 to 1985?
80, yeah. Well, my mom was born in 77.
Yeah, my
like,
dad too.
She's encompassed in that. And then, like, from 1981 to 1996, which is, like, my sister's generation, that's 6.7 hours, which I don't get the jump from 6 to 6.7. I thought it'd probably be higher than that. And then the generation, like our generation of 1997 to 2012, Gen Z is...
Wait. I thought you said the 65 to 80 was Gen Z.
65... Oh, did I say Gen Z? I meant Gen X. They were Gen X. The next generation, my sister's generation, was the millennials. That's the 1981 to 1996. And then Gen Z, which is us, was 1997 to 2012, and that is 7.3 hours. But that's just one chart.
And wait, what website is that?
I don't know. It's just like the first if you type in at home, if you're at home, you type in average screen time for adults, it's the first, like, picture that pops up in a little corner. But it says I guess the average screen time in hours from iPhone and other device users age 16 to 64 in the year of 2019. Now, this is where I think this is probably all scratched and shaky. These are all pre-COVID numbers. So, like, everything pre-2020, 2021, 2022, and so on. You know what I'm saying? So, 2017 was 6 hours and 46 minutes. Then in 2018, it went up only 2 minutes to 6 hours and 48 minutes, which is odd. And then the following year, 2019, it actually went down 10 minutes to 6 hours and 38 minutes. But again, that was in 2019. That was, like, the peak of motherfuckers enjoying their outside life. So... the following year, I'd imagine that probably, like, if you had to take a guess from 2019 with the average time being 6 hours and 38 minutes to 2020 alone, how big of a jump you think that is in average screen time? I would have to guess probably like 2 to 3 hours. Just all day on your phone. Because, I mean, there wasn't anything to do.
That's a big jump. So, to you motherfuckers who are listening, just think about this, man. Just try to be more present. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Like, you see videos of beautiful women or attractive men, whatever it might be, whatever you're into, and it's just pulling you in. Or you see somebody who's at the gym and they're ripped, and you just maybe fall into the cycle of comparison.
Yep.
Or you see people counting all this money and they're driving these real nice cars and, they're in these different cities and all this stuff, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I wish I could do that. Take your own advice, man. Get out and go do some shit. Get out and go fucking get ripped and, lose some weight or get stronger, do whatever you got to do. Yeah. Go out and, make some money. Go out and experience life.
And I think it's pretty easy for us to speak on this too, because in a lot of ways, like, we microdose the same drug that everybody else is taking.
We do, man. Like, so we're right in there with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the eye of the storm, bro. In the eye of the storm.
And I get to see what it's like. Like, you and I talk countless times. Like, our running joke is, like, clicking on Instagram and being like, I got to get out this metaverse shit.
The
like,
Matrix. We're steady talking about the Matrix. But it's crazy because, like, it really does get a grip on you, bro. It's like venom.
Yeah.
It just fucking pulls you in.
I know, not to like call him out or anything, but me and Jake were just talking about that the other day, and he said he was sitting at work, and he said it was on one of his days that like was super dead, like nothing to do. And so like when you're at work and you got nothing going on, completely, I absolutely get that, because that's me. Like when I'm at work and I don't got nothing going on, I'm on chess, I'm playing Madden on my phone. But he says, because I know he like is really addicted to TikTok. He talks about it all the time, and he goes, yeah, bro, it was like one of them days. We were literally talking about screen time on the phones and like getting out the metaverse and those kinds of. We were literally having this conversation. He was like, yeah, bro, the other day like I didn't have nothing to do at work. He was like, I was sitting down at the counter, nothing going on, nobody at the bar. And then he was like, I literally just went on Instagram, and he was like, I got lost, or not Instagram. He went on TikTok and just got lost in TikTok for like an hour and a half, just scrolling. So like, crazy. That's like, even to that degree, like it's nuts that can happen. And I know what it's like I love watching YouTube videos. Like I'm severely addicted to YouTube. If you went on my screen time, my only like big digit for anything, well, minus like chess, because chess is probably pretty big for me now too, would literally just be YouTube and then listening to podcasts on Spotify. So like my YouTube videos I watch at night, and then Spotify during the day to like listen to podcasts. That's like my killer in terms of screen time.
Yeah, you gotta see it for what it is, bro. I think it's really an addiction.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And like maybe you should be at war with your vices if you want to accomplish anything great.
Yeah, I think though, like not everything, but most things are good in moderation, especially if you understand like what you're doing.
Yes.
I think like we always talk about like that good, like the end of the day fuck off, like that nice wind down where you just get to chill.
Honorable fuck off.
Exactly.
Tell them the difference now.
So like the honorable fuck offs, like after the crazy day, like you just got done. Think about anything that like you wanted to accomplish in the day, you got it done. Like for me, it's been banging out my 100 push-ups, getting a workout in, eating right, editing, getting clips ready, getting 1% prepared. Closer. Yeah, 1% closer. And then getting to sit down at the end of a day and enjoy those YouTube videos rather than just coming home from my 9 to 5, sitting down and watching YouTube all night and not accomplishing anything else. Like I tackle the bulk majority of my day, and then I enjoy my vices at night. I don't think vices inherently are always negative. Like I was saying before, if you know how to control yourself and if you're still a disciplined individual. Like if you're standing on business and you're taking care of it, I don't think most vices are truthfully that bad for you. It's like when you hit those crazy limits where you're just on it all day and you're doing it all day and brainlessly. I think that's like the word, like the key term is when
it's mindless.
Yeah, when you're literally just mindlessly scrolling, just trying to pass time. And like I've been there when like, it's funny, in the same conversation, Jake and I were talking about this too. It's like you ever have those times, and I know you've been here, where you were like just on your phone and you were doing something that was like activating that serotonin region in your brain. But then like, for example, it could be something as simple as like, I got to go pee right now. And you're like, oh, I don't really want to get up right now. You just keep scrolling and you're like, oh, all right, like I got to go pee. I'm about to get up and go do it. And you're like, oh, no, I'm about to just wait another video. Then you scroll another video. And then you fuck around and sat in that same spot for another 30 minutes and didn't do what you had initially planned on doing.
Yeah.
That shit, I hate when I do that. But it's happened. So like I really do get it. That should lead us into the retreat, bro, that we've been talking about.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's dabble a little bit here too.
What's going on? Oh yeah, guys, we've been talking about doing this for quite some. What the fuck is going on with Yahoo? Who the fuck uses Yahoo? I'd imagine if you're using Yahoo in fucking 2023, you're a fucking serial
What are we
killer.
talking about? Retreat 1?
Retreat. Oh, actually,
1?
no. Yeah, let's talk about. Well, before we get into the bus, because I was actually talking about the bus.
The battle bus.
You're black, bro. You don't move first. What's going on?
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm tripping.
We had what's the date right now? It's Tuesday, February 28th. So right around this time / like into the start of March is when we have planned on going to Colombia. Obviously, we're still in the studio, so that didn't happen yet. But it's because I think we actually talked about that in the Matt Sachs pod. So we did another pod with our good friend Uncle Matt. He came in. We were talking right before he actually moved down to Dallas, Texas, which is going to lead me into my next point. But he was moving to Dallas, Texas to pursue his, what would you even call it?
He's an engineer.
Yeah, an engineer and coder
yeah.
at a new company in
software
Dallas, Texas.
engineer.
Yeah, so he's doing really well for himself. He got paid to go down there, fly down there, check it out. And the kid loves it. He built check out the gogetters.co website and make sure to hit up Matt or get in contact with us, anybody out there that's interested in getting a website made or needs any of those kinds of services, because Matt's the guy and he can handle it for you for a good price. And So yeah, he flew down to Dallas, and he was actually told that like due to the timing, he probably would have to push the trip back a little bit. So like we were
to
still
the end of the
aiming
year,
for
so
like
November,
December.
December time.
So yeah, we're pushing the Columbia trip back to then. It's still gonna happen. Like mark our words, we're still gonna go to.
You just got your passport.
Yeah, I did. I just got my passport last week.
Today is the
28th.
28th. So
yeah, I got my passport like a week ago. So we literally would have been going like now. We were just waiting for my passport.
Yep. Did you tell Matt you got your passport, by the way?
Yeah, I sent it into the chat. He was like, "Hell yeah,
right.
brother," or some shit like that. So yeah, he went down there. He was told that we couldn't go to Colombia yet, which is fine. We just rescheduled it. But what we did schedule in the meantime is we actually didn't book the tickets yet, but we're doing it tomorrow. Yeah. Is we are going down to Dallas, Texas to visit Uncle Matt and potentially film a few pods while we're down there. So let us know what you think about that. We have some guests that we could potentially are in the works with doing pods with, so that'd be really fun. We could potentially do another pod with Uncle Matt. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, that's going to be fucking fire.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be a really awesome experience to go down to what's maybe the podcast capital of the world right now.
I mean, you might just fuck around and run into JRE at the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? You might fuck around running Lex Friedman at Sunoco pumping your gas and shit. So
and we really shouldn't spoil it, but who Matt was talking about getting us guests, or the guests he was talking about getting us might be really cool.
Yeah, really sick with some really cool backstories. And they tie right into like our whole brand and everything we're building over here, like savage motherfuckers down there in Dallas. But that's like a region in which I've wanted to go to for a very long time and visit, just to like see like what the people are like, enjoy some nice Texas barbecue, and like just, I don't know, get down there in that weather. Because it seems like at this time in 2023, like some of the baddest motherfuckers in the world are coming out of Texas. So like that's
we're going to Texas. That's like the new Cali right now.
So that's like the pool you want to be in if you're like trying to network with people and you're really trying to connect with some bad motherfuckers. And there's so many opportunities for building this podcast like even bigger down there that I think it would, I don't know, it'd be really fun. We're gonna check it out, see what it's like, how we enjoy it down there. But
well, we've been itching, bro. We've been talking every day about getting ourselves on a trip and going somewhere, because it's just seeming, and I know people can relate who watch this, it's just seeming monotonous. It's seeming like every single day is repetitive, and it's not so much, because we've been doing a lot. Now let's give them an inside look on what we've been doing. So we have, because like I said in the beginning of this podcast, it might look from an outside perspective that we've kind of been stagnant.
Yeah.
But I think you and I have a good understanding of the situation that we're in, and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And there's so many different things that are pulling us in different directions to where we have to tend to those things while also trying to build this podcast, market this podcast, and most importantly, fund the podcast. So we started a side business, a marketing business that we call Clover. And I've already had some experience with Clover. I've started it a while ago. Yeah. And I initially did advertisement and marketing for local businesses, and I did it with restaurants, and it was a big thing. And so we got together and we started doing different forms of advertising and marketing. And this is the first thing we actually started doing right here. Well, I guess the second thing, but it's door hangers. So we started like this door hanger campaign for this local restaurant that just opened up. It's called Seasoned. Yeah. 10% off. Yeah. Super fire, by the way. And we've been doing these schemes here and there to help to fund our podcast. We have, we're building a side business, and we also have some talks of getting into real estate and potentially buying a property, maybe. Yeah.
There's so many pawns on the board, funny enough, like that we are trying to push. And I don't know, there's only so much time in a day and almost so much energy, and you and I know more than most, like the battery that you have, that like your capacity to like really grind in a given day. And maybe we're just pussies, maybe we are, and maybe over time it'll get easier on us, like once we have more experience and we have more of this shit figured out. But at the start of the whole podcast, that's just what it was, and it's what I really want to get back to, is just like the endless creativity and money to just pour into the podcast. Because when it started, that's literally what it was. Like if there's something I wanted, I just bought it because I had the money, and I had no other responsibilities.
Now things are getting a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, now things are getting a lot more expensive.
We have three things that we need for this podcast that we're trying to get. And it's 2 or 3 Sony A6400s.
Yeah, cameras.
Right? So multiple camera angles. So we have me and Kev, a guest, and it's like boom, me, boom, Kevin, boom, the guest, and
one wide shot, like the one you guys are seeing right now, like the typical wide shot.
Yeah, and it would switch between angles based on who's talking. So
Yeah.
it would be just way better production, right?
Yeah.
And then we wanted
Way cleaner.
Right. It would be super tough. And it's going to happen. So trust. And also a new, some type of laptop.
Yeah. Because if you guys can't fucking tell, I do all of our like preparation work on a fucking toaster, and if only you can see the computer I use at home, bro. Oh my!
Tell them how we got that computer.
That shit was crazy. Probably shouldn't go there, but
we got it. Cool.
Yeah. So that was gnarly, and we've been working on that for quite some time, and it's a pretty shitty computer. I mean, it gets the job done, but it's not ideal by any means. So we've been looking to upgrade that for quite some time. But even like to buy like a modern, like a Goodyear MacBook with like, it has even remotely the capability we need to produce the content we're trying to produce, you're looking to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. So like that in alone is a big purchase. I know for some people it's not, but luckily and unluckily, we don't come from the craziest class where we just have endless money, and we're really trying to like build and allocate our money in the right direction, so we don't just have endless money just sitting around. We have to be strategic with how we use our money, and that leads us into things like this, starting these side businesses to help fund the things that we actually need to buy, so that once we have all that shit, we could just be done with that. We could put it to the side and get it back to how it used to be, where it was just endless creativity, and which I don't think we lost. Like, I don't think we lost any of that, but like he was saying, it definitely does get dampened when you have so much other shit going on and so many other responsibilities that you only have so much time to think about this. Then you have to move on to the next thing, and then to the next thing, and then to the next thing. Yeah. It's been crazy.
And not talking about personal investments that you and I both have to, put down. Mm-hmm. Personal things that are pulling us. So yeah, we've been really bootstrapping this thing, but this is the number one priority of both of us. Yeah. We're trying to make this happen for sure. So we also have this. Talking about trips, going back to like the trip idea, we also have this crazy idea.
Wild
idea of
and this directly ties into like this whole empire we're trying to build. And I don't know if anybody will understand why or will understand the idea at all. Yeah. But it directly ties into this empire we're trying to build. I think it'd be really cool for the podcast. It would be really cool for, like he was touching on earlier, building into like doing different style like vlog kind of concept videos, or just videos about what we're doing, but without giving it away, I'll let you jump into like what we were actually talking about, because I think it's so sick.
Me and Matt talk about this shit, bro. We have this term, we say legacy shit. Like, that's how I see it. Like, bro, this is going to be a different type of mission that we go on, and it's really gonna solidify our legacy, I think. And that idea, bro, is to buy a bus. Yeah. Like a page right out of Uncle Snell's book. Like, go and get a bus and trick it out, the go-getter's bus, build some shelves and beds and all this stuff and travel the country for a year, and then do podcasts on the road. Yeah. Like, we really are talking about this. Like, how can we make this happen? Yeah. Like, it just seems like something we're pulled to. Yeah. Every day we talk about this.
It's weird because initially for me, it was like a pipe dream. I knew I've wanted to do something like that for a very long time. I know like when we initially started talking about the podcast, I used to always say like my plan C was like, if this didn't work out.
Yeah, Thailand.
I was just going to cop some shit, move out to fucking Thailand and just travel around. And not necessarily Thailand, but you get the gist. Like buying some kind of truck or something and driving around. Shout out Mav on YouTube. If you fuck with YouTube and you like watching YouTube, obviously if you're here, check out Mav, because he is a very good depiction of what we're trying to like represent, like when we say we're trying to do these things. Because I used to watch his videos a while back, and he does exactly what we're talking about. He bought some kind of, I think, Ram truck, a big ass Ram truck, souped it up and got it like made for like traveling the United States. And he just travels all around the United States, stops in all these different states and does like camping ventures and hunting ventures and like just like survival videos. And I don't know, it's just so fucking cool, but it's such a cool idea. And like he was saying, I think it would be so much easier. Like part of the problem with like the funding and saving and doing all these things is that we don't have endless money to just throw towards plane tickets to travel all over, or really to drive all over. It's hard. So if we had that, it would be so much easier to drive, say, state to state and do a podcast down in Philly, and then drive to New York, do a podcast in New York, drive to Maine, do a fucking podcast in Maine. Like, just be able to travel all over at our will and not be tethered to a given city or a given state.
Yeah. We've actually missed out on opportunities to do podcasts with like multi-million-dollar CEOs too, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gnarly. Down in Utah, down in fucking, we've had chances to go to the UK.
This isn't like a a pity party though. Like,
no, absolutely not.
We
missed those opportunities, and that's on us. But
that's like a charge it to the game kind of situation.
Literally. We weren't ready.
Yeah, we weren't ready. Maybe we weren't ready, but yo, we're coming though. We're really, really coming for this shit. We're about to really lock this shit in and take over for real.
So in a year, if you ever for some reason are stumbling across this pod, make sure to hold us accountable. Did we fucking purchase that bus? And even if it doesn't happen in a year, it's gonna fucking happen because that's gonna be such a cool arc of the legacy. And hopefully at that point you'll be seeing a bunch of content on that shit too. That's to come. That's not to expect right away, but I think that'd be so cool, and really just documenting like our travels, our journeys around the country, the pods that we're doing people with, more behind the scenes, because I feel like once we grow to a certain point, we're going to want to start doing more behind the scenes kind of content, more like talking to the camera rather than just talking to people and each other, and that'd be such a cool adventure. I can't wait for those times.
Also, let us know what you guys think about, before I get into that, that's going to solidify us in the travel niche for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're going to be solidified in there, blue check and all. But I wanted to say, make sure to let us know what you guys think about the video that Justin Phillips made. Shout out to Justin Phillips on his YouTube channel. It was like a short documentary.
Yeah, like a 7-8 minute video.
Who we are and what we do and all that other shit. So make sure you go check that out and let us know what you think about it. It was a fire video. Super fire.
Actually, I'm going to shoot him a text about what we were talking about earlier. I'm just going to see if he's around right now. Hold on.
Yeah. So, you know what's interesting too? I think we can get into. We both work together now.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Speaking about the fucking corporate nightmares.
Yeah.
Darian actually came down to the school that I work at now. So we were both, for those of you that didn't know, we were both working within a school district in our city, and we were both stationed at different schools. I was at one school in like the northern side of Wilkes-Barre, and he was at, well, I guess they're kind of similarly located. They're like right around each other, but they're both, his was like a middle school / elementary school. Mine's just an elementary school. But he had a crazy situation at his school, so he actually ended up getting transferred to my school. And now, like, we're going there and leaving at the same time every day, which is leaving more, like, time and brainstorming time for us to, like,
we've been playing
out
chess.
Our days. Yeah, really. Like, real life, we've been playing chess on at the school. And, that's been a crazy experience so far. Funnily enough, when we were leaving today, our principal of our school, wasn't that a funny encounter?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we took a picture. Yo, let's get that picture and put it right here.
I'll see. But if it is, bing, right there. She actually took a picture of like us and some of the kids today awesome. As we were leaving. Yeah, it was pretty cool. She's a really cool lady. She literally was telling us as we were leaving, Darren had mentioned to her about the podcast. A lot of people in that building already knew about it. Like, a lot of people have been, and I don't know how either. If any of you guys are watching this, kudos to you guys. You guys are real life analysts. But I don't know how the word got out like that, but in our building, everybody knows about that. Surprisingly, she didn't. So Darren had mentioned it to her, and she actually said, this is like the one positive part that I think the corporate setting has ever entered the Corporate Nightmares episodes, the one positive nugget that we've ever gotten from the workhouse. But
she's a wise lady.
Yeah,
bro.
She is a wise lady. She's very cool. And basically, like, along the line said, like, she knows some very interesting people, I'd imagine. And, well, that's what she said. And she said that she'd definitely be willing to put us into contact with some, like, interesting people to do pods with. Now, we don't know, like, what to expect or what that would entail, but I think it's cool that, like, a principal out of elementary school is really cool. And mind you, like, they run things very well over there. Like, they got a really good system, and she's looking to look out for us and help us out in that way. So I thought that was pretty cool.
You know, what's interesting about that corporate nightmare situation is we had a plan, bro, to... Because, we're not going to be working in the summertime.
Yeah.
So we had a plan to just, be done with it. But we kind of made the decision, like, we're going to have to make a couple plays during the summertime as well. The summertime shambles.
And whether that be anything, like, truthfully, we obviously both know that we're not really fully dialed in or have the system ready for Clover yet. But that was the initial idea, is that we were just going to supplement our 9-to-5 money for the summer with Clover. But truthfully, we don't know if we're all the way there yet. We think that there's other ways that we can go about doing things. If we have to get another job for the summer, it is what it is. But just finding ways to just keep building capital. I definitely want to hone in, I think, because I really think we could do big things with Clover, though. That's like why I say that.
Well, I mean, think about this, bro. Think about funding the necessary hardware that we need for the podcast. Imagine what we can do with the legit merch drop, bro.
Yeah, that's a good fucking point.
Imagine what we can do with that. Like, if we really got together, it's your move, by the way.
Oh, yeah, good point.
If we really got together, pushed the pawns, and poured our heart and soul into a project.
Oh, yeah. Like a fucking, and bro, I think, like, The idea of merch is such a good. I don't know. I always thought it was so cool. Like the idea of like producing clothing, because I'm not somebody who like is in love with clothing or fashion by any means, but I think we all like putting on nice clothes and feeling good and wearing outfits that like make you feel better and just more confident. And I think like seeing Go-Getters merch like around our city and around our state and then hopefully worldwide one day, I think like that's such a cool and like moving experience that like not only are people listening to your words, but they fuck with you so much that they want to put on a piece of clothing that you created because of the meaning behind it or like how it makes them feel. Or I don't know. I think that that's such a cool idea. But I think we had to have said this in pods that we've recently posted, but we want to do 2 drops this year. If not, definitely 1. We're gonna have to try one. Doubt. But we got
an idea too. Like we have some people lined up, and we have some things lined up too. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a super soon thing that's gonna happen, but it's definitely gonna happen this year though.
Yeah, I would say like we are initially planning for sometime around like the summer, like June, July, and then sometime around like the fall, winter, like October, November, December, like sometime in those 2 ranges to give us like ample time to figure out like what we're trying to do, what route we're trying to take, get tapped in with some designers and some manufacturers, which we have been doing.
Yeah.
And, we potentially have a podcast coming out soon with a local kid that
He's killing it,
does vary that. Yeah, killing it. He's been doing it since high school, producing and manufacturing and creating designs for clothing. So we've been in the talks with some kids locally that do that. So we'll see where that goes. But
yeah, man, let's make another poll on IG right now. So if you would cop some Go-Getters merch,
yes, seriously,
click
whatever, click fuck yeah, or
if you wouldn't, click Dawooski.
Yeah, Dawooski. There you go. So let us know with that poll on IG what you think, what you would if you would rock the clothes. We'll probably be looking for some like models to rock. Like we'll probably get tapped in with some people around here to give some merch too.
Yeah, even give ideas too. Like let us know what you think you would want to wear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know most people do it. You can go like the seasonal route. Like you could drop like the seasonal clothing, which is not a bad idea. It's you want to wear summer clothes in the summer and winter clothes in winter, but like what kind of designs you would like. We're like a very flashy, we were talking about this on our last podcast too. We're like a very flashy, colorful, off the wall brand. So like all the colors are on the table, like really anything you guys are interested in rocking, we'll come up with some fire designs, and some of the people we'll be working with definitely can come up with some fire designs. We've seen it firsthand. We've had some people reach out to us and send us just free mock-up designs, like very simple, very sleek designs with just wording. So we even have people doing that and looking out for us in that way, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a really cool thing. I always have like ideas of like a nice Go-Getter shirt or a hoodie. Yeah, we got our own shit kind of, but like I can just imagine rocking like a nice hoodie or a shirt.
Yeah.
That's like good quality and it just has. But we also had this conversation. I think we should branch on this. Like, we had ideas of like potentially rebranding the clothing thing, like kind of taking a whole new approach.
Yeah,
that's beyond Go-Getters. So who knows really where we will take that shit. Like we might honestly, that might be a whole new business one day.
Literally. I mean,
we might kill it and just make a whole new business with it.
Look at the brands like Full Send and stuff. I mean, they've done it.
You see it with them, like Full Send. You see Nelk. You see Happy Dad. Those are all under the same umbrella. Yeah. But like, I think we could do something like that.
And not that anything ever needs to collapse, but like, say you lose love for doing X, then you have this other business that you built that you really love doing, and at the time it's bringing you a lot of fulfillment. You can hop right into that and pour a lot of passion into that. It's like having a bunch of different masks that you could put on. Like, I don't know. I love the idea of producing clothing. I don't know if you ever think about it like that, but like I always think about myself rocking designs that I make all the time. Oh, I thought that was the king. That would have sucked.
Yeah, man.
We haven't done. We talked about doing a fucking chess pod for a very long time.
You can't do both, I think.
No, you can't. It's so hard.
Like, once I start thinking about the play, I'm like, all right, I'm just completely blanking out what you're saying, and it's hard for me to focus on.
That's the worst. Maybe that's like the key to becoming an expert talker, though, is like learning how to use your brain power to make an educated chess move, but at the same time conveying a point that you're trying to make. Maybe that's how you master communication.
Think that's what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that, but it'd be cool if it was.
It's cool though, man, because chess is kind of symbolic to what our life is right now.
Yeah, just pushing pawns on a board, trying to be strategic, trying to be smart, not fucking up, not blundering. Which we definitely have.
Having a strategy, bro. You know,
the strategy. See,
having a strategy, bruv.
This is when it starts getting quiet. We can't get no quiet.
I know. You could think about this shit, bro. I'm not trying to get too focused because I'll go blink.
I know.
Shit gonna have hella crickets. You got the cricket, John, over there?
No, I don't. We should wait. Don't I?
I thought there was a cricket.
No.
Uh-oh.
No. Fuck.
Bro,
oh my god.
Honestly, the cricket.
Oh, the cricket was the one that we got rid of. Remember? Because like you would click it and it would never stop. Yo, that's funny. The only OG fucking listeners will know. I couldn't even tell you what pod that happened
crazy.
in. I couldn't even tell you what pod that happened in.
Wow.
But no, so on our Rodecaster, we have this fucking thing called a Rodecaster. I don't know if you can see it. But it's our soundboard, best soundboard on the market. If you're going to get into podcasting, it's probably, unless you're going to makeshift some shit with your own, whatever, on a computer, there's some shit that I don't know about, some program or something, the Rodecaster is by far the best route to go. Shout out Rodecaster. Hit us up. Send us some free shit. Let's go. Yeah. We have 8 buttons on here that all do different things, as you can tell. They all have, like their own sound bite, or at some point, which potentially coming soon. Maybe you'll see this, maybe you won't. We're thinking about trying to like implement some kind of intro to our podcast. So like at the start of a pod, I'd click a button and it would play our intro song right before the start. So it's pretty cool. It's like a way to mix audio into your thing. But we had a button that was a cricket that once you clicked it, it just played an infinite loop of crickets and you couldn't shut it off. We don't know why. So just ended up doing
I think you can interrupt it. Remember? I think you were able to interrupt
Well, that's what you can do with these ones. Like,
no, you were able to interrupt it with another sound. That was the only way to turn it off, I think.
I don't remember that.
But I thought I was like having the Mandela effect, bro. I was like, I know there was a cricket sound on there.
It was the cricket. The one that we got rid of was definitely the cricket because it was just like from I think what happened, it had to have been a pod with Brian because I think Brian clicked it a bunch of times. And then because you couldn't get rid of it, it was just endlessly playing an 8-second clip of just like crickets going, cricket, just in the thing. And it just wouldn't stop. So that ended up happening. That's
Different
fun.
Different type of time.
And we got a bunch of fucking UFC pods coming up soon.
John Jones is fighting this Saturday.
This Saturday, and we're doing a pod for that this Saturday. So when you're seeing this, Thursday,
let's do a poll.
What's coming.
Who's winning, John Jones, Cyril Gane?
John Jones or Cyril Gane. Definitely leave a vote on that because we want to see where your mind's at. Is Johnny Bones coming back, and is he going to be the same him that was around how many years ago was the last time he fought?
3 years, I believe. But I think a lot of people are saying he has ring rust, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking fucking big, though, bro. John Jones is looking like a big, fucking beefy motherfucker, dog.
Shout out my guys, 8K to Ghost and Brian Kochans to Pollock. They got $50 on that, John.
Really?
Yeah, no kidding.
Who got 50 on who?
All right, so the story goes like this. Anthony said that his whole life he would bet on John Jones to lose, and he would lose his money every single time.
Yeah.
So now that John Jones is fighting again, he's like, all right, I know better now. And I'm going to bet on John Jones because every time I've bet against him.
Brian's betting $50 on Gane.
And so
Brian's a fucking idiot.
Brian's the underdog. He likes to play the underdog card, and he wants to bet $50 on Gane. Here's the thing, though, bro. Here's what I got to say about that. Here's my 2 cents. Fuck Shannon Sharp. Fuck Skip Bayless.
Fuck Skippy.
All right, right?
Yeah.
Gane can't grapple.
That's not necessarily true.
Francis out-grappled him.
Yeah, but Francis is a savage.
With a broken leg. Or with a
torn ACL.
Torn ACL.
Yeah.
And there's been talk that Cyril Gane doesn't train outside of a camp.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. I never
He
heard
doesn't
that.
grapple outside of camp.
Oh, that's interesting.
John Jones is a world-class wrestler.
Yeah. I'm interested to see, like, not necessarily just the ring rust, because I think, like, John Jones is arguably the greatest to ever do it. Like, maybe. I think he can hop right back in and fight up to par with what he used to be. What concerns me is the bulk to heavyweight and how much that's going to affect his cardio and how much that's going to affect his grappling. Yeah. And because Gane's a lot bigger than most of the motherfuckers John Jones used to be trying to take down.
He moves very well, too.
Yeah, he's probably the most elusive and quickest heavyweight that there is.
Yeah, man. Like a lot of people say, he moves like a lightweight.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
It's crazy.
I mean, he definitely doesn't move like a heavyweight. He fights like, or he looks like he could fight at light heavyweight if he wanted to.
Yeah, nah, it's gonna be interesting, man. And if I had to bet my money, I'd take John Jones.
I would too. He just seems like, I mean, it's.
But say John Jones wins this fight, what's next for him?
I think they set up. Man,
Can't do Francis because Francis just lost his contract.
I think what's gonna happen, like, this is my take on it, and this is like a fairy tale fantasy, but I think that this is genuinely how it'll probably go. John Jones will end up fighting Gane. If he wins, they'll probably try to set up like a Jan Blachowicz fight with him, like John Jones versus Jan, and then I think Francis is going to go spend some time boxing. He's going to probably fight. I think that they were talking Deontay Wilder. They've obviously been talking Tyson Fury for a long time. They're talking Tyson Fury. That's going to be an interesting one, though. Like, What, you're going to talk about Jake Paul?
Yeah, how about Jake Paul losing?
Yeah, that's Fury. Funny. I mean, at least he took it on the chin, though. He handled it way better than I thought he would. And truthfully, I thought like one loss for Jake Paul was going to be the end of that whole stunt, but I'm starting to not think that anymore. Like, Jake Paul, you got to give him credit. The kid can fucking box.
You got to give him his flowers,
He absolutely could. And to anybody that doesn't think that, I think you're crazy. Get in the ring with Jake Paul. Go do that. Because you'd definitely be proven wrong.
Jake Paul, let's go. Come on, man.
Yeah, let's set it up. Jake Paul, Darrian Tyson, fucking 5-round.
We do a boxing match and then a jiu-jitsu match.
He don't want that static.
He's a wrestler, bro. I don't know. Wrestlers are dangerous, dog.
Yeah, not wrestlers are dangerous. But so Francis either fights Deontay Wilder. I think the money fight is Tyson Fury, but I genuinely don't see that happening. They had talks about him fighting Anthony Joshua too, right? It was
I didn't know that.
Anthony Joshua, I think, was one of the main guys, and they also had big talks with Deontay Wilder. So I think like the fairy tale setting is Francis Ngannou fights about with Deontay Wilder, and he either wins or loses. But I truthfully most likely predict a loss. Like I think it's very hard to
from Francis.
Yeah, for an MMA guy to go over to like a sport that's not his and win. I mean. It's a hard discussion, though, because I was just going to say, like, anybody that gets hit in the head by Francis Ngannou has a chance of brain damage for the rest of their life. But
very true.
Same thing with Deontay Wilder.
Hardest recorded punch of all time, right?
Yeah, but Deontay Wilder's right up there in that same spectrum. It's like Deontay Wilder's the guy in boxing that everybody thinks if I get hit by this guy, I might die.
Yeah,
so
the bronze bomber.
Yeah, right? Literally. So that'd be such a clash. But what I see happening, truthfully, is if John Jones wins, he goes on to fight Jan. Francis fights like an Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, wins or loses, and then they set up the money fight for John Jones. And
you see how those motherfuckers won't come over to MMA though.
You know what would be crazy that I never thought about? What if like two? And I don't know how they would sanction this, and I don't know how they would ever get the okay to do this. But has there ever been like two MMA guys that just boxed each other? Has there ever been like, say like for example, a Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, but like a boxing match? Has there ever been anything like that?
Oh, I don't know.
I know like Connor's fought Floyd, but that's not MMA. That's MMA boxing. Like there's been MMA guys that went to boxing. Francis is about to be one of them. But has there ever been like two guys that said, fuck this guy? I know like they will have like talks before fights, like we're not gonna take this to the ground, like we're gonna fucking fight each other, like. And there's been fighters that will just stand up and they refuse to go. Like Colby and Usman were like that. Like Colby and Usman they're both primarily known for how good they are at wrestling. Mm-hmm. So them not really trying to take each other down at all, and just especially in the first fight, just throwing slugs, just trying to kill each other, like.
But I didn't know they had that mutual agreement, though.
It's not like a mutual agreement to the point where you can't do it, but it's like a respect thing. It's like we're going to stand up. Like, we're going to fight. You want to fight? Let's fight. I know, like, people do that. I don't know how common it is, but I wonder if they'll ever, like, make a move to do something like that in boxing. I think, like, for the UFC to miss out on arguably probably the greatest fight of all time, like, especially to today's standards, like, I think for them to miss out on that for, like, money and contractual misagreements and stuff like that, I think that would be it'd be such a sore for the sport if they let that happen.
They should know better, right? Like they should give that man his fucking bread, bro. That's what they should do.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard there's a lot of different reasons. I've heard there's a lot of different reasons for why the deal didn't go through with Francis in the UFC. But you hear both sides of the story, and both of the sides of the story make it seem like they're right. So
yeah,
I don't think we'll ever really know what happens. And if Francis's mind is right, he'll get paid a fucking bag for fighting one of those boxers, like an actual bag, and he'll just be done. He'll just retire.
Maybe.
That I think that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario for him, but worst case scenario for like the fans.
Yeah. Because
that's like
maybe
what's more compelling than fucking Francis Ngannou and John Jones? Nothing.
Who's move?
Me. But yeah, man, I don't know. So we have that. That's a loaded card coming up. Like literally a loaded card.
Shavkat Rakhmonov fights on that card too. I'm excited to watch that.
Valentina Shevchenko, Bo Nickel, right?
Yeah, Bo Nickel fights too.
So that'll be interesting. What else the fuck we got on here?
We're opening up with the King's Indian here.
The old King's Indian?
Yeah, Sersky.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much touched on everything I wanted to touch on.
And me too.
So let's see. Bam. I'll just make the trade. Why not? It's hard to. This is a mind fuck in its own regard. Playing chess and trying to be entertaining while talking at the same time is not easy. I'm already severely struggling.
What are we at? We at an hour yet?
We're at 50. We can call it whenever.
Anything else we need to cover? Corporate nightmares? You want to talk about the corporate nightmares?
Just the corporate nightmares? I mean, we've been having them, guys.
Are they scary?
I mean, yeah, man. You know how that goes.
I want to know, actually, if you guys stuck around for this part of the pod, let us know your thoughts on what is a corporate nightmare.
Yeah.
What is the corporate nightmare? Because Kevin, what do you think the corporate nightmares are? How would you sum it up from one of the OG founders of the corporate nightmares?
Of the corporate nightmares. Yeah. I mean, I've been battling the corporate nightmares for longer than I can imagine. Yeah. I don't know. Like, we talk about it all the time, like how people seem to be okay with just the idea of like going to work and coming home and living for the weekend. Like, we talk about it often. Like, it's very NPC behavior. Like, it's like shit that we can't ever imagine. So I've been dealing with the nightmares for some time, so much time that it's very hard to put into words what they mean to me. But like, the nightmares for me are literally just the agony of like I think if I can explain it in the opposite regard of like why I want to escape the nightmares is because I want to wake up every day and feel the joy of just being awake and being alive. And like feeling like when I wake up, like being able to have a smile on my face and just be able to feel joy. Like maybe it's a problem within me that like I need to solve, and we talk about that often too. Like maybe it's a character flaw of mine. Maybe it's something wrong with me. And maybe I should be more just happy and joyous when I wake up, because I live a great life, and everything before my life are all things that I've set to achieve, and I'm like actively trying to like accomplish these things every day. So I choose my life. But the working part, like when I have to wake up early and I have to go to work, like I feel like an agony. Like I feel like there's such a heavy weight on me. Like I feel like I'm confined within like a box and I can't escape. And that's what that shit feels like to me. And granted, like my job's not bad. I know I've been saying that a bunch on these corp episodes, but it's like I get to go help kids for a little bit during the day, which is fun. I like all the kids at. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. If any of you guys are listening, though, you guys are savages. Definitely should. All those kids though are fire. If any of them are listening to it, you know that I mean that. And so
love you guys for real.
Definitely, you guys are cool. Like you definitely do like make me think about a lot of things in different perspectives, and also help bring a lot of the creative juices back to me. Like I don't know, it puts me in a place that I remember where I was when I was in 4th or 5th grade or whatever grade, and the stuff that was going on in my life to see like where I'm at now. So it is really cool. But it's just, I don't know, we were talking about it the other day. I think it's like the idea of feeling like I'm forced to go do something that is not like it doesn't involve my legacy. You know what I mean?
It's not conducive to your goals.
Yeah.
It's not conducive to building the legacy that you want for your life. And I really do agree with that. And I think a lot of people experience that as well. But what I've just discovered recently, though, I think, is that the corporate nightmares are really within our own minds.
Yeah. It's definitely a man-made construct.
I think we really put ourselves in a box. And I think you could see that when you are around these 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade kids.
Yeah.
Because, bro, it seems to me they're so wise. It seems to me like they are the happiest people on earth.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who just want to have fun, and they want to have good experiences, and they're happy.
Yep.
And at some point, we strip ourselves from that.
Absolutely.
But I think that with all that being said, it's not wrong for you to want to experience something more from this life. It's not wrong for you to want to change your circumstances. You know what I mean? And yeah, it is annoying when, you know, some people are living their lives and they're traveling to extravagant places and they're with some of the coolest people on earth, and, you know, they are just living it up.
Yeah.
And you're, you know, it seems like you're slaving away.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think like, cause I mean, we've had those kinds of feelings. I know other people feel that way too, but I think what that boils down to is an unwillingness to obtain what others have the will to obtain. Like, it's like whatever's out there that you really want to achieve, like it's really nothing but just shutting the fuck up and going to do it. Like I know like there's shit that comes with it. We know more than a lot of motherfuckers that there's shit that comes with this life. But if you really want to achieve and obtain something, and you like the future you want to build for yourself is really there. It's really before you. You just gotta take that step closer every day, because you're not just gonna be gifted that overnight. No. It's never gonna happen that way. And I think, and I genuinely do have the belief, like if you're an overnight sensation or you get famous overnight,
good luck
surviving that, because that's hard. I think it's like the natural progression of like 1 subscriber here, 5 subscribers there, 10 subscribers there, 20 here, 25 there, and then over time you're at fucking 10 million. Imagine just getting gifted 10 million subscribers overnight. You wouldn't know how to fucking manage that.
I mean,
good luck.
There's some examples out there, bro.
Yeah, so it's literally there before you, but it takes that, like, that's where the rent's due there every day. The rent is due there every day. Like, if you're not putting in that work every day, if you're not grinding towards that goal every day, then what are you really doing? You're just bitching if you're mad that somebody else is out there living.
And the goal isn't real,
bro. Live.
It's just a dream at that point.
Yeah. And I think that's really as simple as it gets. And my idea on a lot of those topics change all the time, but as of right now, that's genuinely how I feel. Like, if you're complaining about a lifestyle somebody else is living because you want to live it, you just got to shut the fuck up and go get it. It's really as simple as that.
Boom. With that being said, go fucking get it. Corporate Nightmares, episode 5.
Yeah, guys, this was a simple one. Number 5. Look at that. That's nuts. Corp 5.
Yeah.
A lot more coming.
Yeah.
So, much love.
Make sure you guys are pushing the ponds, man.
Yeah, push them ponds. Make sure you guys are tapped the fuck in. We have a lot of banger episodes coming out soon. UFCs, like we were talking about, we hinted at a few of them in this episode, and we're looking to set up a lot more with a lot more bad motherfuckers out there. Just keep on watching every Thursday, 1 p.m. We love you, bad motherfuckers.
It's a reminder, too. We're pushing the ponds, too, so we're right there with you guys.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We're no different than you guys. We're no different than you motherfuckers. We know you got ambition. That's why you come to the Watch the Go-Getters podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's a really good point. I mean, we're literally right there with you.
We're right in the eye of the storm with you. So, bro, we're in this shit together. So
we're living this shit.
You're not crazy.
Yeah, no.
You're not crazy.
Not at all. And to anybody out there that has, like, any questions or any, like, you feel like you're stuck, you have a roadblock, or like there's something going wrong with what you're trying to do to level up and get one step closer towards that future, reach out to us. It's not that hard.
Facts.
If there's anything we can help you guys with in terms of just words or encouragement or ideas or steps to take, we'll help anybody interested. Just let us know and keep fucking killing it and keep grinding and stay fucking hard.
Boom.
Let's go.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Man, that was